Florida just approved its first black bear hunt in years, and it's historic. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know on how to get started hunting the Florida black bear. From rules, to gear, to scouting, what to do after the shot, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's dive in, and I hope you enjoy. So let's go over the rules and regulations first. I've got most of them written down here so I don't forget. Number one, if you're thinking you're definitely going on a bear hunt in Florida this year, you might want to just pause the brakes for a second because this is going to be a lottery system. So hopefully you did get drawn, but there is only going to be 187 permits throughout the entire state. We have 4 bear management units that we're going to be allowed to hunt, and I'll go over them for you and the number of permits that are going to be available. So for the East Panhandle is going to be 68 permits. The North Zone is going to be 46 permits. The Central Bear Zone is going to be 18 permits. And the South Bear Zone is going to be 55 permits, totaling 187 permits throughout the state. There's going to be an entry cost of $5 per ticket, so to speak. This is considered a special opportunity type of quota, which we have a few of those for deer hunts and turkey hunts are considered special opportunity. This is going to fall into that category, so it's going to be a ticket type of application. There's no preference points or anything like that. So $5 a ticket. You can put as many tickets in as you want. If you're a resident, it's going to be $100 if you get drawn for the bear tag. If you're a non-resident, it is going to be $300 for your bear tag. Non-residents will be capped at 10% of all tags out of the 187, so we'll go ahead and round that up. 19 permits through the whole state will be permitted for non-residents. The season length, at least for this year, is going to be 23 consecutive days, starting the first Saturday in December, which is December 6th, and going to run until the last Sunday in December, which is December 28th. There's going to be a bag limit of 1 bear per hunter, no bears less than 100-pound live weight, and of course, no sows with cubs. Legal weapons are going to be the same as they are for deer hunting, so you can archery hunt, muzzleloader, rifle, shotgun, etc. At least for this year, we're not going to have a physical check station that you have to take your bears to. If you get drawn, they're going to send you a hard plastic tag, just like we do for gators, and you're going to clip that to your bear when you get up to them. And you have within 24 hours, just like with our deer and our turkeys that we take, you're going to have to report it through the Go Outdoors Florida app, or you can call the number to report it as well. And then you're going to have to get with FWC staff. And I don't know if they're going to have a staff member come out to your house or wherever you want to meet them or how they're going to do that. They haven't released that info yet, but they have said we're going to have to meet with FWC staff so they can collect samples from the bears that they need. So that's all we're going to have to do with that. So that's nice that we're not going to have to, take it to some far long distance or whatnot to get it checked in right after we kill it. We can go ahead and get it, iced down, taken care of however we need. One thing about that is before you give it to another person, whether it be a processor or, you don't want the meat for whatever reason, you want to give it to somebody else, you're still going to have to meet with FWC staff before you start taking it apart like that. And just as a quick reference, you as an individual, responsible hunter, need to go over these rules and regulations for yourself. Look them up, go over all of them for yourself so you know to a T what needs to be done for this bear hunt. This is just a quick base rules of what I just went over, but have to stress that you as an individual and responsible hunter, you have to look the regs and rules up for yourself and make sure you go over them to a T. Now on private lands, you will be able to hunt bears over feeding stations like, your deer feeders and such like that, which is really going to be very beneficial for a lot of people that have bears in their area to be able to be a lot more selective on what they want to take. Because on public land, we're not going to be able to bait, just like with anything else, we can't bait. But on private land, you're going to be able to, and that is going to be very, very nice. If I had some private land, I would absolutely be hunting over my deer feeders or such, because more often than not, you're going to have multiple bears coming into that feeder, and you're going to be able to be a whole lot more selective and know that you have a lot better chance for opportunity rather than on public land. Granted, we'll have 23 days to hunt. There's still a chance of you see one bear, that might be the only one you see. So yeah, just take that however you want, but that will be very nice for private land hunters to be able to bait. Dog hunting is not going to be permitted this season. Next year, they are going to allow training with your dogs, and it's going to be up for consideration in 2027. As of right now, they're saying 2027 is a go, but I have read some different articles that show it's more of a consideration for 2027. It's not for sure yet, but more than likely they will permit that for the permitted hunters. And you will be allowed to have a guest go along with you if you are a drawn hunter. That other person cannot, of course, be trying to hunt. It's not one of those they can shoot it and then you put the tag on or anything like that. They are allowed to be with you, though, one guest, to experience and share that hunt. Now let's get into the scouting and habitat part of it. This year, the hunt is going to be in December, so it's going to be a lot different than, let's say, if it was in October. Now, having said that, FWC did set this hunt up to where through the coming years, they're going to be able to adjust this timing anywhere from the beginning of October to the end of December every year. They're going to be able to change that if they need to based on harvest and such. Another thing is they're going to be able to adjust harvest permits, the amount of permits that they're going to give out each year, varying on harvest from other years. So it's really neat how they have that set up. I'm really liking how they're doing that. But being this year is going to be in December, we're going to focus on December scouting and tactics here. For me personally, I'm going to be hitting the swamps hard. That's, if I get drawn, that's where I'm going to be going, is deep in those big nasty swamps. The primary food source at that time is going to be black gum fruit. Black gum fruit grows on, hence the name, black gum trees, and it's just a little tiny small looking grape. I'll put a picture here for y'all to see it, but black gum is going to be your number one food source. Now, oftentimes around that year, there isn't going to be too much of a lot of food out there. So whenever you do find some good heavy black gum falling down, you ought to be able to find some bear scat or tracks somewhere close by. Obviously, each year can vary, and the amount of black gums that we have growing at that time is going to vary. But more often than not, the black gum fruit is going to be limited. But most of the food is going to be limited. So whatever you can find, that'll be best. Now, if you're hunting an area that's more upland and you're going to have some oak trees around you, obviously acorns are going to be a top priority, maybe even more so over the black gum fruit. Really just depends on which part of the state you are hunting. But if you can find some fresh dropping acorns or some black gum, that is going to be your go-to for food that time of year. Bears do love the palmetto thickets when they have the palmetto berries growing well in them, but by that time those will be completely wiped out and gone. So if we get a hunt earlier in the season, like October for next year, that will be something you definitely want to check into, and of course acorns still. But for a lot of the bear zone, we're going to be looking at black gums. But again, for your particular area, look for acorns, black gums that time of year, and you're going to be pretty set as long as you have fresh sign around. Fresh sign is going to be the main factor, whether that's fresh tracks, poop, overturned logs, anything like that you want to look for is going to be the ticket to finding bears. So the best piece I can give you on that little part there is you find food, find the fresh sign, you're going to find the bears. It's pretty set in stone of what it is because they're going to be on a pretty set routine. Food, bedding, food, bedding, food, bedding. Now, when it comes to the hunting tactics and the way you're going to want to approach all of this, Florida's terrain, for the most part, can make it quite difficult to do much stalk hunting. Personally, I believe stalk hunting, like you know, slipping through the woods, looking for them, that is a lot more efficient for hunting bears. Just like how that's my favorite way to hunt hogs, same concept. I believe that's the best way to hunt bears. Even if you're in a spot that is like hot with sign, stalking around can be the best way, in my personal opinion. However, with the majority of the way Florida is set up, that can be kind of difficult, especially when you're hunting in real swampy terrains. So with that, the way I would approach it is when you find the freshest sign you can, you find a hot trail that bear's using pretty consistent, just set over it like you would, hunting a deer stand. Same concept. That's more than likely going to be what the majority of hunters in the 187 permit holders is going to do. Spot and stalk is possible, but it's going to be a lot tougher in these swampy type terrains. When it comes to gear and preparation, let's talk about firearm you're going to use, assuming you're going to be using, a rifle. Don't want to undergun a bear, because what a 100-pound bear takes to knock down versus a 400-pound bear takes to knock down, sure, a 243 could take both of them down, but I would much rather be killing that 400-pound bear, like this one back here, with 30-06 versus a 243. But I've also killed a bear that has a little bit left in my freezer. That was about 100 pounds that I killed up in Georgia with my 30-06, and it killed it just as good as it killed that one. So don't undergun a bear. That is one of the biggest things I can tell you when it comes to that. If a 243 is all you got, then I would recommend you go buy higher caliber gun, to be quite frank with you. But 30-06, 308, 270, 7mm mag's good one. 300 Win mag, that really punch them down. But you don't want to undergun a bear by any means. If you're going to use archery equipment, fixed blade broadheads over expandables any day of the week. If you shoot a bear, whether it be with your rifle or bow, whatever, and he runs off and you go to look for blood, if you don't find blood in the first 5-10 feet, don't get thinking any type of way about it, because oftentimes, unless you really punch it through them good and you got a good big exit, a lot of times they're not going to bleed very well right at the get-go, because that hair, especially come December time frame, they got a real thick winter coat, that hair is not going to allow much blood to escape right off the bat. It's going to soak a lot of it up before they start bleeding out. So keep that in mind. Now, a lot of folks don't know this, but a bear's vitals actually sit back a little bit further from the shoulder than what a deer does. So instead of wanting to put your shot, tied up in that shoulder, you actually want to bring it more towards let's see if I can get it here. Right about there. Middle part of the body, 3 inches forward towards the shoulder. That's the way I like to think about it. Center, at least perfectly broadside to you, center body, and about 4 inches, 3-4 inches towards the shoulder, if he's perfectly broadside. And that'll put you safe for getting both lungs for sure. Note to add to that, if you have an opportunity to shoot a bear more than one time, shoot him more than one time. Because a bear is the last animal that I want to be tracking into a thicket, especially a big one at night. So if you can shoot him more than once, by all means, shoot him more than once. Keep shooting until he stops moving. When it comes to this hunt in a general sense, the best teacher is going to be the research that you do yourself, the boots on the ground, and figuring it all out. I've been bear hunting now for, I want to say, roughly 5 years, I think 5 years now. And the amount of knowledge that I've gained through my own just research here on this computer and boots on the ground learning I can't even tell you how much it has been, because it has been tremendous in the amount of knowledge that I've gained and the confidence that I have in my abilities to take bear and to find bear no matter where I'm at. If there's bear there, I have full confidence that I'm going to find them. I don't have any doubt in that. And that comes from the experience that I've had through the years, not even just during the time that I've been bear hunting, but before that, what I found and what I learned while deer hunting before I even had an interest in chasing bears. But I've been traveling in other states bear hunting, and if y'all seen some of my videos, y'all know I've done pretty fair for what I would say in the time that I've been bear hunting, and I've learned a lot. So the biggest picture in that is going to be your time in the woods, your research on the web, figuring out as much as you can, and quite frankly, experience in itself, time in the woods is going to be what teaches you the most, more than what I could ever say or any other bear hunter could ever tell you. As I've stated, this is one of the most successful conservation success stories in history. The Florida black bear population is strong and steadily growing. This hunt exists because of conservation, and I ask everyone that's watching this, even if you don't get drawn, respect this hunt. Respect the animal. Utilize every piece of that animal for the drawn hunters. Utilize every piece that you can. Bear meat is phenomenal. It is one of my favorite meats. I would eat it over venison. Some people say, oh man, that's crazy. I just had a bear roast last night, and it just reminded me once more why I would eat that over any other type of red meat. I absolutely love bear meat. It is phenomenal, and for those that haven't had it, when you do, you're going to love it. My personal favorite is just a good old bear roast with onion powder, garlic, salt, pepper. Works out pretty good for me. Put some gravy on that thing too. Wonderful. Mix it in with some mashed potatoes and some corn. Spot on. And if you are one of the blessed hunters to get drawn, which prayerfully I will be one of them, I ask you, please, hunt ethically, hunt responsibly, make us look good. Make this hunt look good. Show that this hunt is good. Not only good for the use of these animals, but good for the generations of these animals to come. All eyes are going to be on us. Not just from other hunters, but from some other sides that strongly oppose everything that this hunt is, what it stands for, what it is. Show that this is a good thing. It's the best thing for conservation, and it's been a long time in the making, and I'm very, very thankful that we finally have this opportunity, and Florida is leading the way. Respect this resource fully, and this hunt will continue for future generations, and I look forward to being able to share this hunt with you all in the coming years, because whether this hunt, I get it this year or I get it in some coming years, I'm going to get it. One day I will. Hopefully it'll be this season. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. If I have not covered something that you want to know, whether it be rules, regulations, gear, scouting, whatever, leave it in the comments section and I will absolutely reply to you and give you the best answer that I can give. I just wanted to make this quick video as a quick guide, so to speak, of what to expect and what we have coming. There's a lot that I can cover more, and I have full intention. I'm going to make another video for y'all and a much more deep intel one, actually in the field, showing you what you need to be looking for, and yeah, giving all my experience that I can, teaching y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Leave me a comment in the comment section if you would. Give the video a like if it helped you, and hopefully you will be one of the blessed 187 permit holders to get a tag and have the opportunity to partake in this historic hunt for our great state of Florida and for our Florida black bear populations. Hopefully I'll be one of them to get drawn. But I appreciate y'all. See you in the next one, which will hopefully be real soon.